Hi guys, this is a 2014 Ram 1500 EcoDiesel Laramie Limited. It's one of the first in Ontario, and I'm gonna start it up for you so you guys can hear it. Very quiet. So part of the 2014 Laramie Limited model is you get the full Napa black leather. And on the door, it's all Napa wrapped leather. Around the door handles, you have the Ram badge that's got a nice touch feeling to it. Feels like a metal, but I think it's a plastic. You also have the carbon fiber trim package as well, and you get the weaving cross-stitching patterns all on the door panel. You also get LED illuminated handles at night. There's a blue LED on this handle here. Well, all four doors have the blue LED lights. There's a LED light here, and there's also an LED light down here for your drinks. The driver's side of the vehicle, you have adjustable electronic accelerator and brake pedals. You have the emergency foot brake with the manual release. On this truck, we've installed the WeatherTech on all four corners of the truck, and as you can see, it actually protects the stock carpet very well. On the Ram 1500 EcoDiesel Laramie Limited, you will get the door sills on all four doors, standard. The driver's seat, again, is Napa leather, and it also is a 5-way adjustable, forward, reverse, up and down. You also have the rear that adjusts, and you also have bolster control, so you can control the stiffness of the bolster on your back. And it also has a 2-way memory seat. To start the truck, all you have to do is place your foot on the brake pedal. You get an indication of it's off, on the off position, ready to start. Press the button. Now for the 2014 Laramie Limited, you get the 7-inch LCD screen on your gauge cluster. So simply, if you just press the push button start once, you get the display active. So on the display, it shows right here your transmission settings. So you obviously have drive, it's an 8-speed CF transmission. You also have your analog speedometer, fuel gauge. On the left, you have your RPM, which this engine redlines around 4,000 RPM. And what's very neat about this truck is you actually have a gauge for your diesel emissions fluid, the exhaust fluid. So you'll never have to be in concern of when you actually have to fill your diesel emissions fluid. Another important thing to note about this gauge cluster is that it's completely customizable. So you can actually change every settings that you want viewed on this actual LCD screen. So this is your actual current miles per gallon, your fuel economy gauge. It's active, so when you're driving, it moves constantly. You also have an average economy gauge, which is right here, which calculates your average speed and determines how much fuel consumption you're actually using. What's also really important to note is you can actually customize all these gauges. So currently I have my battery voltage on the top left corner of this LCD screen, and I have my oil life gauge on the bottom left. I also have a compass, and I have the outside temperature, and on the bottom right, like I said to you guys earlier, I have the average fuel consumption meter. And basically what's inside all these functions is you have a tire pressure monitoring system, you have a digital speedometer, which is fantastic if you're going to go overseas, either from the US or to Canada or Canada to the US. Simply just press the right facing arrow, and you can easily switch to imperial, and then press the arrow again, back to metric. It's a fantastic system if you're trying to follow speed limits on the highways. You also have a setup screen that you can access, so simply clicking that, here's all the options that I was previously talking to you about. You can change the way your odometer is displayed, the actual decimal readings. You can have a whole number instead of a decimal. The lower gauge, it's currently set for oil life, you can switch it. The upper gauge, set for battery voltage, not battery life, my apologies, battery voltage. You can restore everything to defaults. My lower right is my average miles per gallon, as mentioned. Lower left, I haven't put anything because there's not really much options. Let's see here what I have. You can actually do your trailer brake gain. This truck, I didn't have the trailer brake switch installed on it. You can put your current miles per gallon, average miles per gallon, range to empty, the time, the outside temperature, compass, or none. Currently I have it set to none. So as you can see, this gauge is fully customizable. You can do many things with this gauge, and it also displays text messages if you have any stored text messages on your phone that's actively connected to your Bluetooth. Audio settings, whether it's your USB, SD card, or XM radio, everything can be displayed on this screen here. And obviously of actual layout of your distance you've driven, your average liters per 100 kilometers or miles per gallon. And that's about it. Okay, so part of the Laramie Limited package is you get voice recognition from the Uconnect 8.4-inch touchscreen. You also get built-in Bluetooth phone connectivity. These up and down arrows are your options to deal with the gauge cluster of the 8-inch. That was the right arrow I was talking about, how to access all the menu options in the 8-inch display gauge. That's the back button. Obviously this is your horn. The ZF transmission obviously has a manual type transmission electronic shifter. The negative is to downshift, the positive is to upshift. Cruise control on, cancel. You can increase and decrease your speed settings, and it's all displayed through the 7-inch LCD monitor. The 8.4 Uconnect system has many options. It has a radio function, media, controls, climate control, navigation, phone, and general settings. For radio, you have XM radio, you have FM, AM, all at a fingertip. So you can just press on the screen and you're automatically connected to your XM radio. If you have any other devices, such as you want to use the audio system from your Bluetooth phone or an SD card, simply just go to the media section. And then you also have CD, USB, auxiliary, Bluetooth, and SD card functions, all available to you. The next option of the Uconnect system is all your heating controls can be monitored through the touchscreen. So you have driver's heated seat on either high or low. It also has ventilated seats for both the front passenger and the front driver. You also have a heated steering wheel settings, mirror dimming function in the center, and then you have general settings that you can click on, which will take you back to this entry level here. So under the settings, you can change your display, the way your display is organized. You can have it set for daytime light settings or nighttime driving settings, or you can just put it on the auto function, which has a sensor on the front of the dash that detects the type of light that you're driving on. It also has manual settings. If you choose to adjust it yourself, you can change the languages. There's several languages for Uconnect. You can download more packages. Currently it comes stock with English, Spanish, and French. You also have a climate control option under the LCD Uconnect. You can control your climate controls simply by just pressing on, the temperature for the driver's side, and because it's dual climate control. You can also sync. There's a sync function on the screen where you can actually control the temperatures together, or you have dual climate control options. Navigation, it's a fairly good navigation system. It's either 2D or 3D. The options, if you go under options, it has many other options: turn-by-turn guidance, repeat, settings, and also 3D view. Your phone functions, it's as simple as clicking yes to pair a phone and punching in the correct password. So this truck is equipped with the four-wheel drive system. You can buy an EcoDiesel truck without the four-wheel drive system, but if you do buy the four-wheel drive system, you'll have options. So currently there's a four-wheel drive auto option, four-wheel drive lock, that's for low speed, climbing up a hill under really rough conditions, four-wheel drive low setting, and a two-wheel drive. You also have, in the emergency that your vehicle needs to be towed, a neutral for both transfer cases, which actually disengages the powertrain completely. And on top is a silver metal rotary knob for the ZF 8-speed transmission, and it only has 4 functions: turning clockwise, either park, neutral, which activates the backup camera on the Uconnect, reverse, neutral, and drive. So by placing the rotary shift knob into reverse on the Uconnect screen, you get the backup camera. You also get the guidance lines for reversing. So if you start turning the steering wheel in a direction, it tells you the actual direct trajectory position of the truck. So it actually guides you into physically turning in the correct direction without any obstruction. Below the Uconnect screen, you have all your analog features that are provided in the screen itself. You have your volume control, screen off settings, hazards, back menu. You have your radio tuning, climate control settings. This is for both driver and passenger. At the bottom portion of the center stack, we have at first the air suspension features. So currently right now, because we started up the vehicle in the entry level shown earlier, it's at the lowest setting. But if I just press the up arrow once, I can physically lift the truck. So this is the second stage of the 4 levels that I can pick. And I can continue to press the buttons. And as I do, the truck levels, or the level increases. Once the truck has reached its level, the light will stay solid. The flashing yellow indicates that it has reached, it's beginning to rise in that selection. The other buttons on the bottom portion here are for your heated seats, cooling seats, traction control button. The truck also has a tow feature, which allows the 4-pin electronic system in the back of your tailgate to actually function. And it actually regulates your brake a lot more. Heated seats, passenger heated and cooling. You can either turn on and off the front and rear park assist sensors. The truck also has a 150 watt maximum 110 volt AC outlet, and that's very good for camping. So because there's a rotary knob, there's no shifter, you get this massive insert console for storage space. You have a storage compartment in here for your cell phone, another massive storage compartment for any other items, your cup holders. You have one of the many 12 volt DC plugs that are only activated when you press the button. And just below the cup holders, the front cup holders, you have the center console that has the limited badge in the center of it with the cross stitching and the Napa leather. So part of the center stack, you have 2 compartments. The first compartment is just with a single lever here. It's a fairly large compartment where it has all the SD card USB holders, which we'll show you in a second, a change holder. You can pretty much place a 7-inch laptop in here, or a notepad. So the multimedia center, like I said, is located in the first console of the center. At the very bottom left, you'll see that I have a USB stick plugged in, and that's for your radio, your MP3s, anything you want to play through the Uconnect. On the top portion, there's a large SD card holder. Again, can be used for radio, showing pictures or short videos through the Uconnect system. On the very right is a USB phone charger. That's all it's used for. So the second part of the console is a very large storage container. It has the single CD holder with the ejection button and a huge cargo space to store anything you wish. So for the top portion of the truck, we have a fully functional sunroof, electronic sunroof. Has a venting option. There's also a center window opener. So for the center back window, it's automatic. So for the Laramie Limited, like I said earlier, you do get the Napa leather, which is the premium soft touch leather. And as you can see, it's perforated here to keep the passengers cool. And it's got a fantastic finishing with finishing stitches around its edges. And it again has the nice embodied patterns. A very nice seat. Also, for the rear seats, they do fold up to give you a complete 90-degree flat surface area in the back of the truck. So simply just by lifting the bottom portion of the seat, you have access to a cubbyhole compartment that's under the seat. It's enough to fit a couple of towels or maybe a first aid kit. And then what's very interesting about this is you actually have a folding physical flat surface here for placing your items that you wish to have inside the truck rather than in the bed itself. And the other side also does the exact same thing. By just simply lifting up the seat, you can even use this side and convert the whole area into extra cargo space. Also, there is a storage compartment underneath for the extended cabs, the crew cabs. However, if you do have the Laramie Limited model and you have the 10-speaker Alpine sound system, the subwoofer case is in this spot here. So it's no cargo space available. Also for the passengers in the rear, they also have heated seats. They have their own ventilation on the center and towards the door area. And they also have a 12-volt adapter area. With the driver's seat fully back, you can still fit a 6-foot person in the rear and still have 2 to 3 inches of leg space. In the rear, you also have rear compartment storage space. Underneath these belts, you can fit maps, little items in there, and it's a magnetic clip, so it locks in instantly. Also in the rear, this truck's been fitted with the WeatherTech mats, so you can see it's digitized to fit the actual frame of the truck, the interior body. But if you flip this mat over, the truck also comes with coolers on either end of the rear, and they can be taken out to add ice and placed back in. So now let's check out the exterior. Turn on the hazards, turn on the lights, roll down all the windows, fold in the mirrors, and let's check the exterior of the truck. Okay, this is the exterior of the truck. It's a white finish. It has LED lights, that's standard on the Laramie Limited. You have projector lenses that are non-HID, so they're halogen bulbs. Same with the fog lights. You have the nice chrome finish on the front end grille. Also comes with its signature 20-inch gunmetal rims. You got the EcoDiesel badge. You also have the running boards that are stock on the truck as well. And as we come to the rear, you'll notice that the EcoDiesel still comes with a dual exhaust system, LED taillights, backup camera is on the liftgate, nice big Dodge emblem. What's new about the 2014 Laramie Limited model is you get this fantastic chromed out grille. It's the only grille that's available for this model and not available for any other models. The headlight assembly has LED turning signals, a single projector lens, and a separate bulb for your high beams. And for the fog lights, it's standard halogen bulbs. You also get the EcoDiesel badging on the side of the truck, along with the large Ram 1500 emblem. And for your side mirrors, you also have LED turn signals. And these are the standing running boards that come with the truck from the factory. So what's unique about the EcoDiesel model for this truck is under the gas area, or the diesel fill up area, you have the diesel emissions fluid fill. So just twist this off and you can add the urea injection through there. What's also interesting for the 2014 models is there is no cap that covers your diesel inlet. It's a pressure sensitive cap itself that is exposed to the environment. What I've done is I went to Home Depot and bought a 1.5 inch diameter rubber holder or a plug to fit over it to prevent any water entering the system. So the rear end of the truck, you get the dual exhaust, which is actually functional. And on this truck, we have the trailer hitch option installed. You also get the 4-pin and the 7-pin trailer connection, which we'll show to you in a minute. The tail lights are also LED. The backup camera is just above the Ram emblem itself, near the handle. So on this truck, I've installed a Retrax 1 toner cover. And inside, we have the factory spray bed liner. That's on all walls, including the tailgate. Part of the 2014 Ram EcoDiesel Laramie Limited is you have the air suspension package. The air suspension package is actually a nitrogen closed system, which allows you to lower the truck 4 inches below its normal drive height and lift it 4 inches above its drive height. Another awesome feature that it comes with is that you can actually lower the truck on entry level. So if you have little kids that have a hard time getting up on the truck, simply on the remote, there's a button on the bottom left, press it twice, and you'll see from the inside wheel well that the truck will eventually lower. The front end lowers first, it lowers in stages, so this is stage 1. The rear end will lower after, once it's stable in the front. And you'll see it lowers at about 2.5 to 3 inches for easier access to the truck. So the air suspension is set to its highest position right now. So if you needed to store something heavy in the rear of the truck, or if the truck was sitting too high for whatever reason, you can simply lower the truck. And based on the running board height, you can see the clearance is about 8 to 10 inches. So if you needed to lower the truck to have little kids board or elderly people, you can simply do it with just a click of a button on your key fob. First the front end lowers. Once it's stabilized, the rear end follows. And what's important to note about this air suspension is that the rear end will always sit slightly higher than the front. So the 2014 EcoDiesel engine is the 6th generation VM Motory 3-liter engine. It comes with the ZF 8-speed transmission, which is new to the family. It was introduced in 2011. It was first introduced on the Grand Cherokee platform, and it got about 35 to 30 miles per gallon on the highway. This truck, however, because it's about 1,000 pounds heavier than the Grand Cherokee, gets anywhere between 9.5 liters to 9 liters per 100 kilometers, which is approximately 27 to 26 miles per gallon. This truck currently has the 3.92 gear ratio set on the truck, which allows the towing capacity to be 9,200 pounds or 10,000 pounds. Most people can tow 10,000. It's been claimed already. And it gets a steady average fuel economy rate at about 20 miles per gallon when towing at 10,000 pounds. So currently just driving on the highway, after owning the truck for about 5,000 kilometers, I've used half a tank of diesel emission fluid. So it's safe to say that every 10,000 kilometers, you will have to fill up the diesel exhaust fluid. Also, the tank is only about 95 liters. I've never really filled it to 95 liters. And I'm averaging about 900 to 980 kilometers per tank. So if you work out the calculations, that's exactly where the numbers are recorded on the Ram website. Another thing to mention about this truck is the RPM range and the best fuel economy rating that you can get. It's been posted all over the websites that a gentleman has taken a 2014 Ram EcoDiesel Laramie Limited, put it on the highway at around 90 kilometers an hour and got 40 miles per gallon. I've tried it on a tank of gas, well, not a tank of gas, half a tank of gas, and I averaged around 33 to 35 miles per gallon. So the official numbers on the website are correct. The trick is to keep the truck at between 1500 to 1700 RPM. If you can keep it at that range, the transmission will never shift, and you can go up any steep grade.